I've been studying success for a long time. My fascination since I've been a tiny itty bitty one in the performing arts has been watching fame, studying success principles, studying people who are successful. And I always thought as a child growing up that success was something that just happened. It was like this confluence of factors that made somebody extremely lucky. But as I've gotten older, as I've taken on a career in the performing arts, as I've become a coach and coached others, not only in music but in performance, what I've seen is that success is absolutely not an accident. I'm Tiffany Lee, and this is Think Big. I'm so excited that you're here talking about success. Success is deeply intentional. I'll use the example of a music student. Can't wake up and know the piano. It's very complex. And that applies to any goal. In the same way, the steps that you need to take to master something are the same. So in coaching others and following my own journey, I've realized that certain elements are necessary for success. And I've created this 4X focus method that defines it. Focus being an integral part of success because you succeed where you focus. I've created this course around this called Success Mindset using the 4X focus method, and I'm so excited. So I thought for the celebration of the release that is coming that I would start off our pre-launch here with a talk about success and also bring you into my process in a campaign that I like to call Behind the Launch. So I'm bringing you into my world, behind the stage, behind the music, behind the teaching, and bringing you back behind the launch of what it takes on the production side of it. I thought that would be a fun way to reiterate these ideas of success that not only work on the stage, but in life, but work in a production situation. What is success? It's a mindset of growth. It's a mindset looking towards opportunity. It's someone who takes chances, and these are all within a mindset. If you believe you can achieve something, you can because you believe it. Success is also relative, meaning that if someone who had a dream of pursuing a career in the performing arts and yet they got scared and did like everyone else did and pursued a career in corporate, and they were very successful in corporate, at least by corporate measures, and they made a lot of money, at the end of their life, are they a success? In that way, people can appear successful but not feel fulfilled inside. Success is relative to what we believe success is. So for someone that's just coming up, success could be performing for a room of 100. Whereas someone who has achieved that might think success is performing for tens of thousands in an arena. So success is completely relative, which is the good thing about success because it leaves the ball in our side of the court where we define what success is for us. And I think so often is we don't define success. We just watch everyone else and wonder who is going to win the medal of most successful when we really don't even have a definition for ourselves and for our life of what success is. It's how people can so often get caught up in this mill where we go to school and get a career that we might not even like and get in a job that feels like a trap and end up at the end like, what did we do? Because we listen to external forces defining success for us. What is so important to me, and in this show, is defining success from our internal values. We define what is important to us. And in that way, we define success. And lastly, success is inevitable. Success is inevitable if you never stop. Success will never happen the minute that you stop in your tracks. but success is always inevitable no matter what. Now, the problem I have found is that we compare ourselves to other people, and this stops us. Again, it comes all down to focus. If we keep our focus or if we get distracted from our goal, one is a success, one is failure. The failure is just never getting back up from a letdown, from a mistake, from a distraction. I'd like to go over 4 aspects of focus that lead directly to success. Our first point is success takes vision. We need to focus our vision on where we're going. If we're focusing on what everyone else is doing, we will never get to where we're going. We have to have the vision first of where we're going, and that is defining success at the beginning, setting the goal. Success takes vision. This is the epitome of defining success, is deciding what it is that you want to be successful. It takes commitment to say, I am going to go for this. It's setting a goal, which is taking it out of a dream or a fantasy and putting it into reality. It's putting it on your calendar. It's an imagining what it will look like when you get it. That is defining success, and that is the vision. Success also takes action. I've studied manifestation principles for almost my entire life. There was this point that stopped me because I believed early on that manifestation just happened and I didn't have to do anything. And oftentimes that's true, but there is a doing, and it is shifting into a different call or being inspired and moving in a different direction. There is an action in manifestation, and it's listening to the divine call or walking the path that illuminates before you and walking that. For bigger goals, say you want to write a book, you can't just visualize that and wake up and never having put pen to paper or speech to text or told someone, your ghostwriter, to write it. You have to take action for these big goals that are pinnacles in success. That requires taking risks, because so often we don't know if it's the right action. We don't know if this is a divine interaction showing us the way. We have to wade through our doubts. It takes faith to take action towards success. I call this in my course a faith focus, because it's a stepping out, even not knowing the circumstances. An example of this would be my own career. I stepped out into the performing arts. I was actually pushed into it when I was young, because I was in all the music lessons and all the dance classes and all the acting classes. I went to a performing arts high school. And then by the time I went to college, I was being pushed to writing and to a regular career, which seems so unfair because I had been so filled with all of this good education and training in art making and performance. And I was being pushed into like reality where I had never lived before. And so I didn't follow where the larger society wanted me to go on this normal path. I stepped out in faith. I took action. I took risk to follow my own heart in where I wanted my career to go. Was it a perfect path? Was it filled with doubt and starving artistdom and all the rest? Yes. But I still walked through the mistakes that I made and falling down and the doubt into my passion every day. And now that I am 30 years into my career, I am so glad and kind of amazed that I made this decision, that I had such foresight to see that the world didn't make my reality that I did. It was almost like this bravado of youth that allowed it, because those doubts still cloud. Did it go how I expected? Never. But I have been fulfilled at all moments along the way in my work. Success takes action, takes faith. Thirdly, success takes patience. I've had very little patience in my career, even though I continue to stand in my career while I've watched other probably more talented people fall to the wayside into regular jobs. This is a slow focus, and this is hard to grasp when you want everything now and you want it yesterday. But seeing that you still have success even when things aren't looking like they're supposed to, even when things didn't turn out like you thought, still having that success mindset and holding on to that growth mindset is so important in building success. I had a performance I did 20 years ago, probably. I was so excited for this gig because it was a real boon to get it. All the big people locally were playing there, and I was going to play my original music. And I packed out the house, have a recording to this day of this performance, and it was one of my favorite performances of my lifetime, up there with opening for the Pointer Sisters and singing the national anthem at a UGA basketball game at Stegman Coliseum. It was an absolutely magnificent gig. So I was so excited to do it again. So I booked it with the bar, and they loved that I had filled the bar out. So they booked me again a month later. Well, guess what? The audience just heard me a month ago. I was impatient in the process, and I wanted to do it again. I've also released songs that never seem to go anywhere, and 20 years later, I get screenshots in my messages of people listening to that song in that moment. As you could imagine, what that does for my heart is indescribable. Our work that we do is never for naught, even if we don't see the repercussions within the moment that it happens. They have long-term repercussions. And this has been the beauty of the art making process for me, is how the relationships align and what happens in my life and all the magical things and the relationships I've created because of my work. Might have little to do with monetary success, but everything to do with creating this life that almost seems pre-made, that I just had to walk it. But if I had never walked it, I would have never known. And lastly, success takes practice. And this is the hard one. This is the one where we do it over and over again, where we never stop, where we keep getting back up when we make the mistake, where we have patience, and then we are called on to have more patience. This is the part where we do it every day for the rest of our life. And this is the hard one. Practice is the hardest thing. It's fun to start a new piece. It's hard to finish it and give it the final touches and make it beautiful. It's fun to imagine playing piano and entertaining your friends. It's hard to get there and actually do it. Practice is the hard part, but practice is the everyday part. And practice is the everyday step that gets us where we're going. It's the deep focus in the 4X focus method, where we move into a state that is so rich in batch processing the effects that we're working on. But when pursued in this fashion, success is inevitable. So if you want to hear more, and stay tuned behind the launch, behind the stage, what happens on the production side of it, I'd love you to sign up over at tiffanylee.com with one F or thinkbig.coach. Either way will get you there. And sign up for the launch, and I will keep you posted along with goodies that I'm sharing. I've got some goodie giveaways, as well as some nice little secrets that I'm going to give away about launching and about working a business behind the scenes. So I'm so excited for that. Stay tuned. And as always, keep thinking big.